Hello and welcome to another exciting video. In this one, we'll learn how to create reusable custom hooks. One of the things we love about programming is the ability to take code, place it in a function, and reuse it in other places in the software. Let's imagine a scenario where we want to share our local storage code with other components. So other components could synchronize state with local storage. Over here, let's expand this first and see what we have. So the earlier solution that we had, if you notice over here, this is the function greeting, and this kind of contains this local storage implementation. And if you observe, the keys over here are hard coded. What we will be doing now is, on the other side, if you see, we have tried to make this a reusable component. So over here in greeting, if you see, we are now making use of const name and set name, but instead of directly using the react.useState, we are now making use of a function, and this is a custom function. You can give any name that you feel like. Here I'm giving it as use local storage, and then I'm passing the key over here. Now this function is going to return a couple of things. As you can see over here, it's returning state and set state. So here, if you see, this is the key that we are passing. So name is the key that will be passed over here. And if you observe over here, this was the default value that we were providing when we were making use of react.useState. So default value is now an empty string. Within this use local storage, we are simply copying this whole thing and pasting it. So const state set state react.useState window.local storage, and just instead of hard coding the key over there, we are passing it as a parameter, and that's pretty much it. So this line of code that we had over here from line number 8 to 10, we are having it exactly in the other file as well, but if you see, it's now making use of the parameters that we are passing. So this is sorted now, and this is now reusable. Now coming on to the React use effect, if you see over here, it has got this window.localStorage.set item, and then it's making use of the key and the value. This time around, we are setting the key and state. So the state is again coming from this state, set state. So instead of name and set name, we have given it a generalized name, state, and set state. So this state is now being passed over here as dependency array to the use effect. Finally, we are returning this state and set state array. Once it's returned, it's now being passed to this const name set name, and then we are using set name to set the value of the text box as the name. So this line, you will find it exactly the same. Handle change event is equal to set name event.target.value. Same goes over here as well. And after that, if you see, everything remains as is. So here we have our form that's being rendered, and it's exactly the same. The only thing now that's different is the greeting component does not have the react.useState. Instead, we have taken everything from here and we have created a new function, as you can see. And then that function is now being used over here where we were earlier using react.useState. So this kind of gives us the flexibility, and it now allows us to ensure that whatever new component we will be creating, they also can make use of the local storage to persist their state. Now let's go ahead and check it out. So over here, as you can see, the James is the persisted value that we have. Let's change this now to Matt over here, and if I now reload this page, you will see that Matt is the updated value, and it's now being done using this custom hook that we have created. So to review, what we did here is we took some code that was in our function component, we moved it into its own function, and then called it from our function component. This was no different from any other regular JavaScript refactor, which makes it easy to share logic across components and even make open source libraries that expose custom hooks like this. We also learned the importance of using the use prefix on our custom hooks so that we follow the community convention, and the ESLint plugin can help us avoid mistakes. And that is the reason why we had use local storage state as the name of the function.